Bravo Land Uncorked.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Bravoverse. Welcome to another episode of Bravo Land Uncorked. Your hosts are me, her, and her.
Oh, don't forget Corona.
Wait, and we'd like to introduce you to Corona.
Friend of,
yes. She's joining us today, and maybe she'll serenade us. Who knows? We met her last night at 7 Tequilas. She's super cool. Well, you know what I did last night. And yesterday, our Sunday team had a tennis match. We lost all the lines, but because we're so awesome, we're still going to playoffs. They just said, come on.
Woo-hoo. Yes. Here we go, everybody.
See? Yep.
that's exciting.
I don't really know what else I did this weekend. My daughter had a playoff match and their team lost. She won both of her matches.
Of course.
Let's note that. Notate that.
Let's go.
Harrison scored 2 goals. And that's it. It was super exciting. Again, me and just kids sports shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating on writing a book because this neighborhood writes itself the most amazing storylines. And we basically were unpacking lots of drama-filled stories over the weekend. So I feel like I could have a trilogy at this point over the last 7 years of living here with everything that's gone down. Yeah. So I am currently debating that. And that's what I was debating last weekend.
That's fun.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Time to write a book.
Are you going to be a ghostwriter? Are you going to be unbroken, unbridled, undiscovered? What is it?
Yeah. My ghostwriter will be Claude.
That's funny because I got a text yesterday from someone saying that because she's seen my comedy, she thinks I should write a book and it should be about this neighborhood. And
Seriously?
it should be about like a murder mystery.
That's hilarious.
So maybe we should team up.
We should. We
should
totally. You should also team up with Stacey because she can bring the murder mystery part,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
y'all can bring the real shit.
I think we're going to leave Stacey out of this one.
Love you, Stacey.
I don't think she'd like. The
She'd be like, what's happening?
Yeah. Where do we live?
Right.
I had prom
I
this weekend. We had the prom after
I
party.
thought
at
you were a
my
little
house.
old for prom.
I know, right? Yeah, well, the kids had prom. Sorry. let me alter that. Then we had the prom after party at my house. That was so much fun. Love having all those teenagers just
That gives me so much
running
anxiety
in and
for
out.
you.
Oh yeah. Tons of Uber Eats drivers. I mean, it was a lot. So eventful. And then what else happened this weekend?
My daughter had tryouts for the competitive gymnastics team.
Oh, nice. Did
and
make
she
it?
made it.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Emma.
Cheers.
Shout out Emma.
Yeah,
I know you're probably going to watch.
She's going to love that.
That is amazing. Where does she do?
Infinity.
Okay.
Right down the street.
Nice.
Yeah. So
There
it's
you
a
go.
big commitment.
Free commercializing for you.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Well, before we get started, just remember, if you love Everything Bravo and you love us, please follow and subscribe and like and comment. We're here for it.
Yes.
And don't forget Shandong.
Don't forget
We're waiting for that
Shandong.
sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Here it comes.
Hashtag Shandong.
We ready? Pop this bottle.
Woo!
Woo!
That
Efficient.
had some spring.
Yeah.
In this step.
It
That's
definitely did.
perfect lead into what we have to talk about today for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bang, bang. Chicken
Well, I
wing.
think originally we were planning just to talk about Beverly Hills, but we'd be remiss if
Yes.
we didn't talk a little thing Summer House. So I will have to say this because I thought this was true Andy style. Summer House just gave us the messiest Bravo equation. One newly separated wife, her friend's ex, a cast that feels lied to, and a reunion link that made everything nuclear. So let's talk a little bit about, what are we calling it? Scamanda?
Scamanda.
And-
You've got some breaking news, I hear.
Yeah, well, I guess everyone, I mean, you're living under a rock if you don't know what's going on. But basically, you know, Wes and Amanda have come out and said they're in a relationship. Wes was formerly dating Sierra. Sierra and Amanda are best friends. And Wes is friends with Kyle, who Amanda is still technically married to. That
Follow that flow chart.
Yeah.
yes.
We're going to need to make a flow chart one of these days.
And they taped the reunion on Thursday, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was Thursday.
And Friday morning, overnight Thursday, there was audio from the reunion leaked. And it's basically Sierra and Amanda arguing. And the bigger part of this, though, is that Andy Cohen and all of Bravo were extremely pissed. Like, then this morning, Andy went on his radio show and talked about it. And it was made known over the weekend that they did find the person who leaked it. And it's a member of production. But the crazier part is that they had detectives and people looking into it, but it was not them who figured out who leaked. It was a Bravo fan.
Oh, that's even better.
A Bravo fan contacted them with information about what they thought had happened. And then the second twist to this, which I've seen mentioned a few times, and some of the bigger Bravo accounts have confirmed this, but the Bravo fan is Jennifer Lawrence.
What?
No way.
That's hysterical.
I love this. Love that.
That gave me some chills.
Detective hot on the trail. Let's go, J-Lo.
Yeah. Bravo fans.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is so funny.
And I was thinking about, like, I wonder how she figured it out, but she has so much experience in production, because there was a lot of theories about whether was it someone on the cast, which it was very defensive that it was not someone on the cast.
Yeah, because they were trying to blame West for a minute there. Everyone was like, he was just trying to get fired because he doesn't want to be embarrassed and he wants a reason to be off the show.
But they did say that it had to have been somebody in production, and they thought at first maybe they gave it to West for him to leak.
Yeah.
But so it was always thought that it was.
They were trying to decide. I heard people talking about how because of the way the audio came across, like their different voices were like different levels. And I guess in post-production, they go back and fix all of that. So it wasn't someone, and based on that, they knew it wasn't someone sitting on the couch, but it was someone listening to the audio coming through.
Interesting.
So
it's funny because that was my observation too. That was one thing that I was going to say today, was one of my big talking points, was like, there's no way that was somebody on the couch because of how far away it all sounded.
Yeah.
And like, you could barely hear it because like Mia was talking, Sierra was talking, West was talking, and Amanda was talking on this audio. And damn, Sierra was going in on Amanda, and I was fucking here for it. I can't wait to watch this reunion, y'all. I'm just so excited about it.
Well, the reunion was apparently 10 hours long, and there were so many people. There's one Bravo account petitioning to send to Andy Cohen so that they release everything. There is a lot of accounts are like, forget editing. We just want to see it.
The whole thing. I will
just
sit there
give
for
it to
10
us.
hours. Yeah.
So I think that's hilarious, but I also agree that they're not wrong. I really don't want it to be put down into like 3 small segments. Like, I think there's going to be so much that they potentially could show.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what they decide to do with that. But
Andy this morning said that it was by far the most emotionally charged and draining reunion. And I mean, think about all the reunions we've seen.
Right.
Like, I mean,
and he's hosted all of them.
Hundreds. He said like hundreds.
yes.
Yeah.
And there's been some dark ones.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah. There's been some really dark ones.
Well,
but yeah, this is crazy.
To say, like, when we first started talking about Summer House at the beginning of our podcast, was one of the first things that we were talking about. And we knew that Amanda and Kyle's marriage was dissolving. And we really were like, gosh, this seems like such a dreary Summer House compared to what it's been in years past. And what a turn it took.
Yeah, what a freaking turn. Because I was 1,000% not expecting any of this Amanda West. I was thoroughly expecting Sierra giving West another shot and them actually giving it a real go, because that's the way
what it
he's been
seems like.
blurring like the whole season, and the way that they've just been interacting, and like every night when they go out and they get like a little drunk together, they're always so cute in the kitchen. She's making him food and he's rubbing her back or doing whatever. Like it just seemed like that's where it was going. And then,
He does.
I'm like, what is your point? Like, what are you talking about? Jennifer Lawrence, do you think you could also figure out the timeline of when they got together?
yes,
yes, please.
we
Yes.
need you
We
on
need
the
that.
case.
Okay.
Yes, we need you on the case,
All right.
please.
So quick poll. Who believes the timeline?
I do not. I think it
Okay.
started in the house.
Okay.
I do not.
Do not.
I do not either. And when he says there's no overlap, well, what do you mean there's no overlap?
Right.
There's no overlap
I mean,
with
just the way
intimacy.
he
There was
was
no overlap
touching her.
with emotional connection.
Yeah, I
There's no
And he
overlap.
sat on her.
So I also read an account this morning, which was someone's Botox person is best friends with Amanda's PR person or something like that.
Is this another breaking news thing
This-
that you have?
Kind of. But she said that it started as drunken hookups and progressed into something way more serious. And they will say it's not a situationship and that they hard launched themselves to his family St. Patrick's Day weekend. Now, I don't know.
Hard launch.
Yeah. If any of this.
Do you guys
But,
think that this is good drama for Summer House or it's too messy for Summer House?
I mean, it tracks for Summer House. Summer House has always been messy. Look at all of Lindsay's relationships. Like, let's get real. But so, I mean, it tracks for Summer House. It was just the twist. I never saw twisting.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought
They're
Kyle and Amanda. I mean, I thought that they were going to break up this season for sure because just the way that's
Yeah.
all going down. And you almost feel bad for Kyle watching it, but then you're like, no, he's an asshole because he, started DJing and whatever. We talked about that all in the beginning. But now watching all of this unfold, I'm like, holy crap, I really do feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for Sierra.
Bad for him.
Yeah, like I feel so bad for him. And just to have your friend betray you, your wife betray you, and then like it all be done behind your back and then aired
And then
to
you
the
get to
public.
watch it.
Yeah, and then you have to watch it back unfold on the screen.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah,
I will
I
say
feel so bad for
we
him.
don't have a ton of fans, but we do have some, and some have already reached out to me saying that you should rewatch Summer House because there's so many tidbits that we're picking up
Easter
on.
eggs.
Yeah.
Easter eggs, yeah, Taylor Swift. Easter eggs. Anyway, they said that it's speckled throughout.
Oh, no,
It
it is. It is.
And I know we've seen some too where she's walking past him and she does the whole arm rub thing, and then him coming up to her when she gets there one time and he's like grabbing her.
Yeah, no, once
We're
the
seeing
news
something.
broke.
When he's when he made out with that other girl at that pool party, but he's on that
Double lounger.
yeah, and he's talking to her, and she comes over there and sits down. And my husband's about, and he's just sitting there twirling her hair behind her back the whole time, and she's like, and she's doing it talking about her husband because she knows it's going to piss him off because he's pissing her off because he's flirting with another girl, but the whole time he's just like twisting her hair and shit. And I was
Secret, like, hey, this is just for
Just
the camera.
for, like-
Right.
So I think it's all bullshit, and I hope that stuff comes out in the reunion.
Yeah, me
Same.
too. Because I think there was definitely an overlap. There's no way. I mean, again, I started rewatching it when the news broke of the whole Amanda
I did
West
too. I was
situation.
like-
So I went back to the beginning of the season and I rewatched every episode. And dude, there are so many Easter eggs in there. Like just little notes and little nuances and little touches and little conversations. And the way he's been defending her all season, I'm like, since when did you become the house defender? Like, normally that's not who West is in the house. Like, he's just the jokester. He's the light guy. He's the playful one. He's never been in anyone else's drama like that before.
He's also Pigpen.
What?
Pigpen.
Well, he has a lot of nicknames
Yeah.
now that are
Tummy.
not great.
What do they say? What do they call him?
Charlie-
Tummy something?
Brown. Pigpen.
Also, West TD.
Wait a minute.
Oh, West.
Back up a second. She goes, "What's Pigpen?" And I said, from Charlie Brown. She goes, "I've never seen that."
Oh,
show."
no. I've seen Charlie Brown before. I just don't remember who Pigpen is.
Oh, he's the guy
He's
walking
a
around.
clown.
He's always dirty. And he's got like, he just walks around. He's got a-
Yes. Okay.
Says,
She never heard of Charlie
No.
Brown.
I'm pretty sure there's a fly around too.
I'm like,
Yes, it is.
yeah,
It's
my
bad.
mom still cries when she watches Charlie Brown.
I was trying to find, there was this one Bravo account, which I would tag you if I could find it, but they said if Sierra and Kyle were smart, they would get together and buy a house in New Jersey, live there, and have animals and babies. Because that's what they'd always wanted.
Oh my
That's
god!
hilarious. Oh my God, that's so funny.
I don't think
Jersey.
Sierra's gonna get together with Kyle.
No. Mm-mm. Now let's hope she does get with Michael B. Jordan because
Yeah.
Sierra's been, Rihanna's been trying to hook her up
Yeah.
and put them together.
Well, I think that nobody's gonna forgive West and Amanda.
No.
I think that them being single with their own
Good.
timeline is not an excuse.
Mm-mm.
And out of the season first starting, having villain behavior or feelings towards Kyle, I'm now very sympathetic towards him.
I know, it's 1,000%.
Who knew?
It has changed my
I
entire
also
perspective.
saw something. Well, I think Jesse said that on.
Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah, he was saying that
He was honest as hell.
he said that now Kyle is actually angry because he's seeing it and seeing like the jumbotron and all that, which leads me to believe because when it first broke and the people were interviewing him on the street, he was just like,
He was
"Well, it is
defending
what it
Amanda.
is." He was like,
Hold
his dog food.
he was like, "She deserves to be happy." You know, we still talk, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So it makes me feel like he already knew. That's why I'm thinking there wasn't overlap. It wasn't like what they're saying until that. But now that he, like you already said, now that he has to see it, now he's getting angry.
Yeah.
He's getting upset.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was such a big defender of Amanda when it first broke because he was like, her mental health, she's getting so much hate online. Like, everyone stop liking West's page and quit hating on Amanda's and blah, 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 blah. Like, he was really on the don't go after Amanda train. And yeah, I think now he's like completely changing his tune because, yeah, it's got to be hard to watch all that back and deal with that reunion because from just that little audio leak, the way Sierra was going in on Amanda, I'm just like, get her. Get her. That was so good.
Well, we still have 2 weeks before the reunion.
I know. They are dragging the season out so long. I'm like, where is this Carl and Kyle fight? I've been waiting for it all season
I don't know why Carl's a mess.
Right. Why is Carl a mess?
I know.
Right.
And there was somebody on the Bravo verse that was like, they may cut that out so that they can focus on Amanda and West. I don't see how that's going to be possible.
There's no way.
But it is a rumor that was floating around.
Yeah, there's no way. Just because they put it in the teasers for so long that we've all been expecting it. And I'm like, why do they fight? I mean, I can see the drama building right now, and you see Carl getting angrier and angrier each episode of just how Kyle's not showing up as a friend, but also, Kyle, we agree, you have a lot going on right now, so we can understand why you're not necessarily being the best friend to Carl, but
Unlike Dorit.
right.
That
freaking reunion killed me.
Carl did run the London Marathon, so he is okay.
Oh, good.
Well, good.
Good.
No longer on that.
Okay.
Well, before we switch to Beverly Hills, I did see one other piece of breaking news today that is so weird and random.
Okay.
Michelle from the Valley, so she was married to
Jesse Lawley.
yes, and they got divorced. Was seen holding hands with
Jax.
Dr. Dre.
What? No way. Maybe just for show.
Wait a second here.
They're
She can't
dating.
be that cool. Dr. Dre is pretty fucking awesome. She's not that cool. I just don't see Michelle being with, I mean, Dr. Dre 2001, that was my whole fucking life.
Right?
I still, like, love that album. Like, there's no way. Oh my God. I'm dead.
Yeah,
Michelle,
so
I'm dead.
we'll look
dead.
that up.
Well,
yeah.
are you okay?
Right?
Beverly Hills used to be Diamond and Rosé, but now it reminds me of receipts, resentment.
Oh,
What else
God.
did she say at Utah? Anyway,
Oh,
forget
Yeah.
it. Anyway, friendships.
Yeah.
Yes, friendships are breaking down in real time on this show. So let's
Yeah.
get
So
into
bad.
Beverly Hills reunion
Okay.
season 15.
My biggest freaking takeaway from this reunion is why is Dorit going after Kyle so freaking hard when all she's been trying to say all season long is like, I just want to be your friend and help you and look out for you. And she's not, I don't think she has been doing
I found a
anything
new
wrong.
podcast to watch. I'll have to share it with you guys and you guys.
Mhm.
It's one lady that works in reality TV and she's in LA, and then her best friend is a therapist that lives in New York, but they're best friends and they do a podcast from once a week, but it's all like Bravo stuff. So it's interesting to have this like therapist kind of like weigh in on some of this. But when they were, I found it this morning and I was listening to it while I was half recovering from my night out with Corona and Sherry. Angela
wasn't there.
Angela was the nightcap. But anyway, one of the funniest things they said is they were like, we're like hearing rumors, like, you know, is Kyle actually going to get divorced? And one of them was like, if she does, I heard that she's going to move to Nashville and become a full-on dyke. And then everyone's like, I'm here for it. You go, Kyle.
Right?
I think with Kyle, she's getting like mixed status. Like, people are saying she's producing everything and like she can control everything on the show. And so some people are villainizing her, and then other people, to your point, or somebody's your
Mine,
point,
yeah.
that was like, she's just trying to help. And everybody's saying similar things, but you're attacking her for it.
No,
I agree.
1,000%.
I also think Dorit's jealous because she's seeing how her and Mauricio have been.
Yeah.
And it's far different.
And I think it's crazy because, I mean, I literally watched every episode of that entire season multiple times, and Bose had the conversation. Rachel Zoe had the conversation. That was why her or Amanda first had their beef, was because she was having that conversation with Kyle, and then she shared it at that Kathy Hilton dinner. It's like, Dorit, everyone has been saying it. Why are you only mad at Kyle? Like,
And since this is
only
the
mad at
reunion,
Kyle. And
we
Erica.
know she's rewatched the whole season.
Yeah.
So delusional Dorit.
Yeah, delusional Dorit is correct.
Delulu.
Yeah, there's a lot with Dorit that I just think is she's really out of touch. But I do also think that I'm one of those that do think Kyle is pretty good at manipulating things, or like
Interesting.
saying things, but then
Spinning the narrative.
saying it. Oh, well, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Erratic.
yeah, and if they're yeah.
Oh my God, don't say that word, jeez Louise.
So I feel like there's probably more that we don't necessarily know that why she's so angry at her, but they do have the long history. And if she is telling Mo things and he's talking to PK and vice versa, that would piss me off. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But like, the Kyle Dorit thing started happening like 2 seasons ago
Yeah.
when they got separated. And last season,
separated.
it was last. Yeah, Marisa and Kyle.
I was like,
No.
I was trying to think, is that timeline right?
Yeah, no. Once Kyle and Mauricio separated, and then the next season was when Dorit and PK separated, and like it started in this when they started. Like it's been bad ever since.
Well,
So I just don't think they're gonna come back together.
Do you feel then that this is more authentic, or do you feel like it's more produced, to Dorit's point? Because I feel like Dorit can't quite say, you're producing the show and you're making all this thing happen and da-da-da. I mean, she can't quite say that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the illusion.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I can see both perspectives. I can see where you are saying that, but like for me, okay, let's say, like we're besties and something happens, we guys sort of have a falling out, but then like are going through a hard time, and I notice, you're being later than normal. You are being very chaotic. Like they said, it took her like 20 minutes to get out of the freaking van in Italy just to go walk to get the gelato. Or whatever.
Well,
So
That went well.
that is rude. She left them on that plane
Yeah,
for an hour. I was listening to an interview with Sutton last
She didn't
week.
even apologize when she
An
got
hour.
She literally just sat
And
down.
then the reunion, they say typically it's anywhere from an hour to 3 hours that they're waiting on her. And that's just rude.
Every single time.
That's just rude and
Rude as hell.
inconsiderate.
Yeah.
And Sutton was making the point. She's like, we've come to expect it, and like it bothers us, but it bothers us more that like, what about the crew?
Correct.
The crew's sitting around waiting. Apparently they have, they only have certain amounts of meal breaks and things like that. And all of that gets thrown out the window and off schedule when someone can never be on time.
Is that crew are still what's the word I'm looking for? Not an industry where they can only work certain hours. What is that called? When you have like those,
when they have
what is it?
It's like time constraints.
Yeah.
You can only
Yeah, but they're
like
in
truck
a
drivers
and
have.
a union.
union
And
or
a
like
union.
a union
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah, they do.
or some sort of those kinds of
because I
things.
think all the actors are kind
Yeah,
of
you
in
have
it.
to pay a union due and to be part of.
Yeah, but then that doesn't that have constraints? Like you can't work more than like whatever. I'm sure it's different than what project or something, but I'm just thinking about that from that standpoint too. Is they're probably like, dude, I can't.
Yeah.
And then they get fined. I'm just saying, it's just overall, I agree. It's rude.
It's
as
very
shit.
selfish.
Yeah.
And even on the reunion, they went back to unaired footage where Rachel Zoe lost her for like almost an hour.
Yeah, 45
She
minutes.
was in the smoking section, and she goes, and even if I knew that this place had a smoking section, that wouldn't have been the first place I looked.
Yeah.
Right.
So the other thing in this interview with Sutton, with of course on Jeff Lewis,
Which she looked amazing, by the way, at that reunion.
Mhm.
I have to
she
Sutton Brown.
Yeah,
the
Sutton
three
Brown.
designers did her reunion dress and her holding the diamond dress. Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
But they were basically like, or Jeff was like, it's just that Kyle and Dorit hate each other. They just hate each other. And they can't say it now.
Yeah.
And they're not saying it really. They just don't like each other, but they know that each one needs the other one on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That is very interesting.
I found Erica Jane's vulnerability on this reunion so fucking refreshing.
The season, I feel like.
This whole season, like, she doesn't even care. Like, she's like talking about all of her stuff, the domestic violence and all that, which I so brave and like so sorry you had to deal with any of that. No one should ever have to deal with that.
No.
But and her opening up, like I don't know how I did not recognize how cool it was to see the Sutton and Erica opening up when they were massaging. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
But
Tom,
how she was talking about how Tom's going to die in prison and I'm heartbroken and I still have to pick up the pieces of what he left behind for me and like the $25 million lawsuit of it all. And like,
didn't that just break too?
Yeah, I think they're just now going through the
she's just going through the trial. Should be starting like soon.
They posted something online with all the papers or whatever and saying
so. Then shout out to you, Erica. Hopefully you get through that. Yikes! Oh my gosh, that seems like a lot. $25 million, a lot.
What?
And Andy was like, "What do you do with that?"
Even if you get found guilty and you owe the $25 million, like how do you come back from that? Like they still won't get any money out of her. She doesn't have $25 million.
Right.
I don't know how that works.
What's the end goal?
Yeah. Like I don't get that. And I feel so bad that anybody that in that situation has to go through any of that because no, your money should not have been stolen. But I don't feel like she should be blamed for being a housewife that didn't know what was going on with her husband's finances.
Can we talk about on the reunion? Because I just watched it before, so it's like fresh in my head. Of Erica blasting Amanda about she goes, Amanda was like, I thought I was coming on a show about rich ladies that have cool shit.
Yeah.
And Erica's like, no.
I mean, because I'm sitting here like, Dorit's house is in foreclosure. Erica, like all of this stuff. And they're like, and I just thought that was funny. Let's talk about that for a second. The Amanda thing. She was just like, make sure you get in Sedona. Make sure you get a shot
of my Chanel bag. She goes, I thought it was cute. And Erica goes, no, it wasn't.
We're too old and too
experienced
like this. She's like, it's about you. We want you, Amanda. We
want your heart and soul. And she was like,
I thought I was going on a show with a bunch of rich ladies that had cool shit.
Yeah.
I was like, you totally missed that, Mark.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Housewives before you went on?
I thought in the reality of things, Erica made the best point ever. Do you want to be forever with this man? And she's saying how she's such a breadwinner and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, everything's great now. So it doesn't seem like it's a big deal when everything's good. But these are seeds that you're sowing and it's going to blossom over time. And you'd like to blossom nice stuff. But when you keep talking about how your husband's not making as much money and I do this and I do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. And you should be very
emasculating.
Proud. It is very
And she said I asked him, he said he did not
find it that way. Well, guess what? We all found it that way. And I'm telling you, the entire world will find it that way.
Have you never watched a single Bravo show ever?
She must have. Yeah.
Oh, did you know
relationships last?
Did you know that this is so funny. She must not have ever watched a Bravo show because she said, I'm pretty sure I'm the only self-made housewife that's been on these shows. I'm sorry, Vicky. Yeah, the OG of it all.
Right? But then there's Bose.
No, I know there's plenty.
There's so many. Bethany Frankel. Let's shout out to the old people. Get out of here. What is she Dorit? Dude, they're so delusional. I cannot stand Amanda. And so many people like her, and I'm just like, what are you seeing that I'm not? Because I don't like anything about her. I think she's inauthentic. I think she's phony as hell. I think all she wants to do is, talk about all the nice things that she has.
Yeah, okay, so remember when they were at Sedona and they're at the winery and they're talking and they did the free clip at the reunion where she's like, the numbers don't lie. 80% of people buy it again.
Buy another
and they
one.
watch
And
and they
3%
build
only
on
get a
stuff.
return
And
rate.
Bose is
Buy
like,
a second course and we get
she goes, cool. Like, you're telling me this, but you're still not telling me what you do.
Like, no,
I was like, still don't know what you do.
no one still knows what. So she just makes classes on how to manifest money online. That's literally her job.
She'll walk you through.
I guarantee you, but I guarantee you that she's making a lot of money on, because we all know this, and I'm fall prey to it as well. You forget to cancel that goddamn subscription.
Yes.
So she's still just getting residuals.
Subscriptions.
People that are still getting the classes and the different things, and they're not even tuning in. So let's get some receipts on how many people click on your
the engagement.
Yeah, how many people actually engage on a daily basis versus your right?
I loved how Bose said, you know, they were kind of comparing courses, and Bose ended up going on blast on her own Instagram page.
I saw that too.
And she was like, let me get something clear, because it did sound like Bose did suggest that she was losing money on courses.
Right.
But she did not mean that. And I like that she gave clarification. Furthermore, she's like, I'm providing something to people that actually is helping with business.
Right. That I didn't
negotiating,
have
how
an
you can do
opportunity
this,
to have.
That I taught at Harvard. And
Yes,
also,
at Harvard.
I'm going to give this to you for free now.
Yes. Right.
And she's like, I'm helping empower not just women,
yeah.
people. And she was like, and you're just getting rich. Like, that's all you're saying.
She said that very.
I was dead.
If it was there, but yeah, or if it was whatever, but yes, I was like, boom.
I'm like, Amanda, if you listen to anyone on that cast, please listen to Bose, because she is actually saying the right things, because you are so fake.
Wasn't she also like in corporate America for a while or something?
Everything.
Yes,
she worked
was,
for,
yeah.
I mean,
No, she
she
worked for Netflix. She was,
And then here's Amanda, like, I'm the only self-made
she was
housewife.
like the CFO of Netflix or something.
And Bose has never. Has she even been married? Is her engagement the first?
No,
time?
no, Bose was married. Her husband died.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I forgot.
Her daughter was 4,
Forgot.
and she never remarried, and she was like very much in love with him.
Yes, I forgot.
And
Yeah.
that's why this whole, oh my gosh.
So
and shout out to Bose for getting
self-made
engaged.
housewife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
My favorite part of Amanda in this reunion is like whenever people are talking to her, basically the whole time she's like this.
She is.
Yeah.
Don't
this
you?
open mouth, shocked.
Yeah,
like,
she like
I
makes
don't
the
know what's
weirdest
going on.
faces.
She's probably strange.
She's probably pre-calculating what she's gonna say. You know what I'm saying? She's
Right.
like, okay, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna say. She's like, look, the wheels are turning.
Do you feel like she's more Instagram or Beverly Hills? And do you feel like she's been a good addition or not?
Terrible addition. I don't like her. I don't think she serves
she'll
a
be back.
purpose.
I'd be surprised if she's back.
I could see them bringing her back.
Because
Andy still
said
like
that-
her.
And he said, I think it was on Watch What Happens Live, when he was like, "You're the housewife that has made the most dramatic entrance." People are something along those lines.
Oh wait, no,
Camille.
you're the one that came on the show and you activated every cast member
You have it right
without
down here.
having to try.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
he
what
said,
he
and
appreciates.
that hasn't happened since Camille Grammer
Since
joined.
Camille Grammer season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which is
so
funny that we've been comparing season 1 to
Right.
right, and how it comes back full
Love that
circle, you
shout
know
out.
what I mean?
Thanks, Andy. Thanks
Yep.
for watching.
Yeah,
this.
thank you.
He did. This
Talk about us?
Yes.
Oh, I went.
Well, in a way, he talked about all the Bravo accounts and like Instagram accounts or podcasts or whatever, and just that like he knew they all have Bravo's back, and how like none of them posted the audio, or like if they did, they took it down once Bravo, was mad. And so I was like, hey, we have one of those.
Yeah, we have one of those.
Although, did we take the audio down?
I don't think we posted it.
We didn't post it. We just reposted it or in the story, and it goes away. It wasn't like we were like,
Right. Again,
'Cause we
I
did
need
not
to
read
learn
it.
how to take an Instagram class, because we're
Well, maybe you
figuring
can
this
ask
out.
Bose.
Right?
no,
I need
Amanda.
to.
Amanda will charge you.
I know. Bose will at least give me a class for free. Thank you, Bose.
I want to go back to Dorit and Erica and Kyle for 1 second. I think that one thing that I thought was very terrible as a friend, sad, is if I'm going through a $25 million lawsuit, obviously I don't want to talk about it all the time. I know what going through that is like. I don't talk about stuff that is hurtful all the time. But as friends, you know that that's something that we're going through. And to be like, it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me.
And she goes,
and she's defending herself, being like, oh, I didn't know you were going through something.
I didn't know you were going through anything.
I know. And
I'm like,
Erica goes,
where have
"Girl,
you been for
please."
6 years?
That's when that's when Erica should have picked up Rachel Zoe's line and said, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? And then Kyle should have said, I died.
I mean, yeah, that again, back to the delusional or whatever.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Like,
It's like,
The one thing that did kind of, it's just, we've talked about this before, it's like double standards sometimes, because Dorit is talking about how, like, you don't need to be talking about my spending habits. And then Kyle's like, well, frankly, I'm in a different financial situation than you, which was pretty cutting and rude. And Sutton said that last year to Dorit, and about her.
somebody with a bigger wallet. Live on a main road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And so
We've been using that.
and that was like,
right.
everyone was so,
I live on a main road,
Yes.
Sutton. What's up?
everyone was like in an uproar. But like, I haven't heard anyone's cough that Kyle
Saying,
said.
yeah,
And
I agree.
it
Kyle is in a very different financial situation than Dorit. First off, she entered that marriage with her own money.
Yeah.
She does own half the agency, which, by the way, there's one right down the street from our house. Mauricio, shout out if you ever go there. We would like to talk to you, please. Then, like, she was a child actor. Her fucking sister is Kathy goddamn Hilton. Let's get real. She's got some benefits from that, too.
I was thinking about that today because
That's where the real estate thing came in.
Yeah, but
that's-
like,
it
is very different than Dorit's
funny
situation.
today. I was going to ask you all this. Is Kathy Hilton a cast member or a friend?
friend.
friends.
Okay, because I was thinking, I was like, because she don't need the money.
No.
She don't
Yeah,
need to be
I mean,
on it.
No.
She still gets paid to be on there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that today.
No, she's just a friend of.
Because it was right when they had that conversation during the reunion, and I was like, Kathy Hilton, the one person in the world that does not.
I was dying.
Neither does Jennifer Tilly.
Right. Oh my God.
Just with her own face on it. Literally, you see her bank account, and it's just like a rolling ticker.
Right.
What about
all that Simpsons money is just coming in.
$40,000
Mommy.
She goes, that was a $40,000 vintage bear, and she was like, "Yeah, that hurts." She goes, "Oh, mommy."
I have to say,
hysterical.
That's
She's
real
fine.
I love her.
Was not really that entertaining until these very last episodes.
Yeah.
And now the reunion, because people want to see reality, and I think that it's been too controlled, in my opinion.
And I,
Well, weren't there like 15 episodes?
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
they did.
but, yeah.
I was like, okay, episodes are there to charm to see?
Yeah, no, there's been a lot. And I feel like they've been dragging all this stuff out for a minute now. And I love Jennifer Tilly. I really wish she was like an actual cast member because I find her wildly entertaining.
Wildly.
And love everything she wears, the headdresses of it all. Please give us more.
She's so fun.
She's so much fun.
And so
I don't think, Kathy can get a little fired up, but and I could be wrong, but have we seen her? Jennifer
she had
Tilly
that
yet?
little
Like,
Tiff with Sutton and
I mean, sorry. But another thing that's interesting is some of these women don't want to be full time. And for someone like a Kathy and a Jennifer, that would make sense because they're not really doing it for the money.
yeah.
But
Correct.
Cynthia Bailey, who's now a friend of in Atlanta,
Yep.
so she's so much happier being a friend of.
Yeah.
'Cause
She doesn't
she's
like to be a full time.
yeah. There's less pressure. It's more fun. And I think it's
You just show up to the fun stuff.
Yeah. Alexia in Miami said the same thing. She's like, no, I'll never be full time.
Oh, wow.
So
Wait, she's not full
I
time
think
anymore?
it was Alexia.
No, Marisol.
Marisol.
You're
that's
talking
what it
about
is,
Marisol. I was like, wait a second.
Marisol.
Yeah, because
Yes, Marisol.
I love Marisol. Oh my God.
Yes.
Cheers to Marisol, my drinking buddy, because we all know you drinking out there, Marisol.
How many facelifts has that woman had?
I don't know.
Do you feel like losing Garcelle hit the show at all this year, or do you feel like it's kind of like,
I keep forgetting she's not on it.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
okay.
I feel like that was Sutton's kind of thing. I kind of am forgetting about Sutton a lot.
Yeah.
well, okay.
I mean, she just literally pieced
Sutton-
out.
Yeah.
I mean, like ghost.
No, well, Garcelle, Sutton lost Garcelle, and she lost her little
Avi.
assistant, Avi
Avi,
guy.
why are we not finding out what happened?
I don't know. We still have not found out what
Jennifer
happened with
Lawrence.
Avi. And I'm like, we got Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Where are
Get
you,
on the case.
detective?
Let's go.
Get on the case.
Hope
What
you're
happened with
a fan.
Avi?
We have to tag her
Hope
in
you-
this one.
I know we really should.
That is
I really
hilarious.
hope that
Yeah.
tag her
Hope-
in this episode.
Yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
she likes Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, she does. She's friends with Kathy Hilton and Kyle and all them. I've seen her on the Kardashians. I've seen her on at different parties
Jennifer
with them.
Lawrence?
Yeah.
oh
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
She's best friends with Kris Jenner.
yes.
They're always
Yeah.
drinking martinis together at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Yeah. Oh yeah. They be getting wasted over there.
Who do you think has the most to lose this season?
Dorit.
I agree.
Dorit. Yeah.
She's losing all of her friendships, her marriage, like everything, and her
Potentially
financial
her-
stability. So like,
Potentially one money stream.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Although
No.
she has unburdened, at
Right.
least the photo.
Oh.
Right. I like the photo. Yeah. The book cover party. I'm like, how do we have a book cover party? And
Angela,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
book.
have a party for our trilogy.
There we go. There we go. We're gonna have a book cover party with no book.
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes sense. Yeah, she's just not in touch with like real time reality, right?
She's definitely, yeah, in
And she's
another world.
so self-absorbed.
So.
And so along that same vein, I did think that it was really interesting when when they were talking about the erratic and all of that in the reunion, and Kyle said that she was like, I meant it, like, she's like, when I was going through my
I loved
divorce
it.
and stuff, and she was like, I mean, I think she was like, I was a hot mess. She was like, I was working out too much, or then I wasn't sleeping. Then I was doing this and I was doing that. She's like, I was ADHD. I was like manic. Had so much anxiety. And she's like, I meant it more like in that way about you. Like, it wasn't supposed to be, but she was like, 'cause
And
I've
she
been through it.
apologized for using the word erratic
Yeah, she
so
goes, she
many
was made us that
times.
thing. She just, but I did it. She was like, I just couldn't. I was just a hot mess.
And Erica Jane was even trying to back her on that whole point too. She was like, I was fucking erratic when I was first getting my divorce and I was going through all my lawsuits and all my things. She was like, it's just what happens when you go through something that's so different and it's a terrible situation.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Kyle was kind of like saying that to her, like being like, I'm here for you because I've been through it.
Yeah.
But instead, Dorit was just
It's
like,
just-
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if she was saying I'm here for you. I think she was calling Dorit a hot mess. And and so if I'm going through all this and I am a hot mess, oops, sorry, Mike. The last thing I want is to hear that my friends or acquaintances are calling me a hot mess and saying that I'm spending too much money and like
And how about when
on national television.
And how about she's like, I'm happy that you
That's a
and
good
Mo are
point.
cordial, but if and when it doesn't become
Yes.
cordial, you'll see what I'm going through. And I'm like, well, that's shitty. Dorit has found a way to shit on her friends. Erica, less so than Kyle. You can tell that
Erica
Kyle
is upset.
knows that her
Erica is really hurt.
And she even said it. And when Andy Cohen asked them in the very, very beginning of the episode, he was like, is there any resolution in sight? And she was like, I don't think so.
that's happened. She was like,
Yeah.
how about she like walks right in front of them at the
Yes,
beginning?
Right? Why did she walk around
Yeah, I think
the
that
table?
I think they decided it's probably not
Yeah.
going to get better when she did that.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
Like, come on, don't be an
Well, and
asshole.
she was so heated when she was talking to Andy.
Oh, very.
Just about the kids. But so I will say, I guess my point a minute ago was like, I would not feel great about Kyle saying those things about me, but I also very much disagree with the way that Dorit's acting towards everyone in
Yes.
ways. Like, it's out of control.
But like, okay, to what I was saying earlier is like, if we were not in a great place or whatever, and I'm going through a bunch of shit, and you actually come up and say something to me from what I saw was a place of concern, then like, I feel like I would listen. I might not take it like the greatest at the moment, but I feel like I would hear you out and be like, try to understand where you're coming from. And I don't feel like Dorit is trying to do any of that at all. And she's just defending her behavior and like Xing her friends out and cutting people out of her life that actually like care about
I
her.
think she's really, really angry, and she can't see beyond herself.
Yeah,
She just sees
Kyle
her-
PK texting
Yeah.
is really what sent them down the drain.
Yeah.
And, like she
And I
can't
agree
get
that was
over it.
wrong.
Well, and
That was
she
wrong.
didn't even have Mauricio's phone number. Like,
Yeah.
Dorit.
Dorit,
didn't.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
I also feel that Dorit is upset because she knew that Kyle was talking behind Dorit's back to everybody else, and
Yes.
it came back to her.
Yeah.
I think that is what infuriated her already in a very volatile situation. So I don't think any of us appreciate if we are talking about each other behind each other's back, but I do agree with Kyle. It was kind of like, does anybody see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, like,
No,
but-
I do.
And how do
I
I
agree.
approach the situation? Because we're not even speaking like that. Like, we're not friendly like that. She doesn't like me like that anymore. So, like, how do I say this and not make it come from like a bad place? And that's where I've seen all season Kyle coming from personally.
What are some
Now-
balls that are going to drop on the reunion? What did they give us any tidbits that were interesting that we're going to look forward to?
Yes. There's a comment that Amanda took out a $2 million loan before the season started.
Yep.
Correct.
Ooh,
So we
what
don't
was
know
that
what that's
for?
about. Kyle and Dorit get into it.
Oh, big time. They start screaming at each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
That's
interesting because also separately, Kyle says, well, yeah, if we get divorced, I get half the agency. It's
I thought
mine.
that was-
And Kathy Hilton's like,
does he know that?
Right?
Yeah. Well, apparently her name is on half. And that's what started the whole
That's what I-
Kathy Kyle drama, is because she invested her money in with Mauricio to open the agency. And Kathy Hilton had already had like a real estate
Yeah.
company or something like
with
that. and
Mauricio, he basically left her husband.
that's what I.
to do his own thing, and
To
they
do his
felt
own
depraved
thing.
because he was giving him basically a silver spoon with his clients and everything else, which is what made him wealthy to begin with.
Right.
So then he was like, okay, screw you, I can do this on my own, which honestly, a lot of people do.
A lot of people do that. That's what Dwayne
You
did.
didn't need to do that for your family who you were already wealthy with and whatever else.
Yeah.
But maybe they felt under a thumb. You never know what's going on.
But at the same
But
time,
then when he left, though,
he made the
when
agency
he went to the
huge.
agency, was it Kyle's money that she
I
put into it?
I think it was.
Kyle,
I
was it
think.
your money?
I think she invested.
She's insinuating, right?
Yeah, I think no. I
Yeah.
think she invested a lot of her own money into it, and that's why she
When he
put-
made the decision to leave.
yeah, and she put her name on it, and that's why Kathy was pissed off, is because she was like, "Why would you do that, knowing that we have our own real estate, whatever, and like you
and
can't
they
betray
lost
the
money
family."
because and
Yeah.
then they lost that income bracket from him
Yep.
to do his own thing. So then they were kind of like, huh, we helped you and now you're kind of shunning us. So I get the turmoil with it all.
Yeah.
But
I'm so glad
So-
Kathy and Kyle are still good.
we'll get to see that tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Thursday.
Wait, Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Tomorrow's
Kyle
Sorry,
versus
guys.
Carl's a mess.
Oh, and by the way,
Yes.
let's end on this note. Erica is now a DJ. Guess her and Kyle have been talking.
right.
Go, Erica.
Hot mess.
DJ Pretty Mess. I'm ready for it.
Okay, what are we going to talk about next time?
We got a hot mess and a pretty mess.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, stay tuned, I guess. Do you want to end in a cheers? Or do you
Yes.
talk what we're talking about next?
Can I give a shout out to Angela that came up on the cuff? A very amazing tagline. I'm going to let you say it, though.
Let's see if it. Who needs diamonds, apples, or peaches when you have bubbles?
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
That's a good way to end.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Good, because my cheers is going to be erratic.
I'm hungover as fuck.